All right, hello everybody. It's Mr. Farina here. I'm gonna go over some of the notes from class. I know some of us missed it, so I wanted to catch you guys up in case you did. So this is lesson 5.1 and 5.3. Compare and order integers. So our first question, some of you guys might have, is what is an integer? Right? It's kind of a fancy way of us saying it's a set of positive and negative whole numbers and zero. So it's a fancy way of saying positive and negative whole numbers and the number zero. So some examples would be maybe negative 35, 7, negative 3,546, right? I can go on forever. As long as it's a whole number, I don't have a decimal or a fraction, it's called an integer. 5, that's an integer, right? 4, 3, 2, 1, all those are integers. And 0. For not integers is the ones that have decimals, so negative 1.7, or a fraction, like a half, 7.36. So it could be positive, it could be negative. It doesn't matter. But if it has a decimal or a fraction, it is not considered an integer. All right. So an integer number line is what we're going to be focusing on. And I'm sure some of you guys have seen this in elementary, a number line. So there's negative integers, positive integers. And notice that 0 is neither negative or positive. It's not on the positive side and it's not on the negative side. And also notice that the positive numbers, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. On our negatives, we have negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. So the numbers look like they're getting bigger. As long as there's a negative in front of them, it's going bigger this way, right? Negative 4, negative 5, negative 6. So really, the more negative it is, the higher the number is going to look. But it's actually, there's a negative in front of it. So it's like, it's making it... it's a bigger number with a negative sign in front of it. I'm sorry if that was confusing. Sorry, guys. The numbers on the right of a number line are larger than the numbers on the left. So that's something we really need to focus on. So negative 1 is actually bigger than negative 4 because let's pretend this is money. I would rather owe somebody $1 than owing them $4, right? So that's how you have to think of negative numbers. The bigger the negative is, like the lower number it is. So the numbers on the right of a number line are always larger. So this 1 is larger than negative 4. 0 is larger than negative 1, right? So the numbers to the right are always going to be larger than the numbers to the left. And here's these little fish, right? The bigger ones on the right, and they're getting smaller. For some of you guys that might enjoy a fish monster thing. All right, example 1. This is the practice that you guys had to do in your notes. Write an integer for each situation. Explain the meaning of 0 in each situation. So our first situation is a deposit of $500, and our second is a 5-yard loss. So deposit actually means you're putting money into the ATM. I know this looks like they're taking money out, but you're putting money into an ATM. That's what a deposit is. So that is, as an integer, it's just 500. It's positive, right? And notice that on positive 500, I don't have to put a plus sign here. We just have to put a negative when it's negative. So 500 is how we would write a positive or a deposit of $500. It's just 500. And then 0 on this would represent nothing happening in my bank account, right? Your bank account wouldn't go up or down if it was at 0. Now, a 5-yard loss, think of like football. If I'm losing 5 yards, I'm going like down 5 yards, right? I'm negative 5 yards. 0 represents no yards gained or lost, right? And this is the second part. The first part is negative 5. The second part is explaining what 0 means. So 0 in this situation means there's no yards gained or lost. And you can watch this highlight here. See, this is Russell Wilson getting sacked by a 49er, of course. That was Aldon Smith back in the day. Look at that. Boom. Sack fumble, strip fumble, dropping that ball. Niners all day. Remember, Niners have 5 Super Bowls and the Seahawks only have 1, guys. That's embarrassing. All right. Example 1 continued. So there's 2 more parts. We're still going to do the same thing. Write an integer for each situation and explain the meaning of 0 in each situation. So we have 32 feet below sea level and a withdrawal of $48 from my bank account. All right. So sea level would be like right here, right? Sea level is right here, like the top of the sea. And then 32 feet would be like down here somewhere, right? 32 feet below where this treasure is maybe. So if I'm going down, you think of a negative number, negative 32. And 0 would represent our sea level, which is right here, like I said. And then for withdrawal, that means to take money out of your account. That's just a bank term you guys are gonna have to get familiar with. So negative 48 would be how you would say a withdrawal of $48. You're taking it out. So I'm taking it out, so we consider it negative 48. I'm taking it out. And 0 in this situation would represent nothing is happening in my bank account. So it didn't go up or down. That's what 0 would represent. In sea level, 0 represents just being right here at sea level. All right. Oh, look at this guy again. Money making it rain. All right, he's taking money out of his ATM. All right, graphing integers. Graph the integers on a number line. So we have these integers, also known as whole numbers, right? Positive or negative. We have 2, -2, and 3. So what you're going to do is draw a number line. So arrow's got to be over here and arrow's got to be this way. When you see an arrow like this, it means they continue forever. It just keeps going forever and forever. So you're going to have these little dashes here. What I like to do is I'll usually put 0 like towards the middle, and then I work my way to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And when I do my negatives, it's a -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Because some people might confuse it and put like, you know, kind of do it the same way over here. Notice that they're like mirror images of each other, right? I go -1, -2, -3. I don't go over here and put -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, 0. It has to go, the numbers are going to go bigger as they go this way. And so we're going to graph these numbers. And what we have to do, the first one says 2. So I'm going to find on my number line. I'm at 0 right now. I'm going to go down to 2 or up to 2. And I would put a dot there. That's how I graph it. Now the next one says -2. So I'm going to go start at my 0, find -2, -1, -2. So it's going to be right here. And then we're going to find 3. So I'm going to go positive. It's a positive number, right? So it's going to be on the right side of 0. 1, 2, 3. Boom. I'll graph it right here. Our second example, or I'm sorry, this should have been example 3. I made a mistake here. Sorry, guys. We're going to graph the numbers on a number line. And this time it goes up to 8. So notice I made my number line a little bit bigger. I have 8 numbers here, right? 8 positive and -8 all the way up here as well. So same thing. I start at 0. It says +8, so I'm going to go to the right. And it's going to be right here. Now I have -6. So I'm going to find my 0. I'm going to go to the left of 0. And it's going to be over here. Now I have +4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's right here. Boom. Put my dot. And then -2. So I'm going to go right here and put -2. So number line makes it really easy for you to see which numbers are bigger, right? Like if I said which number is bigger, -2 or -6, well, -2 is to the right on the number line, so we know -2 is bigger. So that's a concept you're going to have to get familiar with when we're talking about these integers and graphing them and comparing them. Now we're going to compare integers complete using the less than, greater than, or equal to sign. So remember the crocodile that you guys probably learned about in elementary school? Hopefully you guys remember. He wants to, this looks like a little crocodile mouth, right? This little greater than sign. So the mouth always wants to eat the bigger number. So over here, my bigger number is 3, right? We all know that 3 is bigger than 0. So we're going to eat the 3. Now for B, -3 and -1. Which number is bigger? I know some of us want to say -3, but it's actually smaller because -3 is like owing $3 versus owing $1. So we'd rather owe $1. This is actually a bigger number here. So the crocodile, or my little chompy over here, would eat -1. All right, ordering integers, order the integers from least to greatest. So this is the same idea, same principle. Something that might help you guys is drawing a number line. This is like an easy way to visualize which numbers are bigger. So if I drew it and and I just saw my number line here, I have -3. So -3 is right here. Then I have 6. 6 is over here. -2 is over here. 1's right here. 5's over here, right? But it says least to greatest. So what's the smallest number I have here? Well, first I'm going to look at my negatives and then find my biggest negative that I have, which is -3. So -3 is going to be my smallest number because it's going to be the furthest left, right? Then I have -2, which is right here, because that's my next negative number. And then least to greatest from 1, you know, the only numbers I have left are +6, 1, and 5. That should be pretty easy to put in order from least to greatest. The smallest number I have of those 3 is 1, and then I have 5, and then I have 6. So that's how you order integers from least to greatest. If you can't like just do this in your head like I did, and like remember that the bigger negative number means it's smaller or further left, then draw a number line to help you remember that. That's kind of the trick there. So that is what our notes were about today. Hopefully you guys are caught up now. And if you have questions, please feel free to talk to Ms. Gonzalez or myself or Ms. Minix or Mr. Berchtold. Somebody will be glad to help and explain this to you guys even further. All right, guys, have a good one. Mr. Farina signing out.